Forget what you think you know about the future of tech. Seriously. Because the next massive leap forward, it's not coming. It's already here. And it's not about slightly faster computer chips. No, this is a total revolution. One that's built on the very fabric of light itself. Okay, let's get into it.
You know, it all really starts with a puzzle that even stumped Albert Einstein. He called it spooky action at a distance, this bizarre, almost magical connection between quantum particles. For decades, this was just a weird footnote in physics textbooks. But today, that spooky action is the engine driving a whole new industry.
And this is not just theory anymore. We're talking about real money. Harnessing that spooky stuff has turned into a massive economic opportunity. The market is projected to be worth over $5 billion by 2029. That weird science is now very serious business, and it's powering technologies that are completely rewriting the rules of computing, sensing, and security. So how on earth does it work?
Well, to understand this revolution, we have to go right back to basics and kind of change our definition of what light even is. We're moving way beyond the light from our light bulbs and into a completely new engineered reality.
Okay, so what's really fascinating here is the fundamental shift. For 100 years, we've thought of light as this continuous wave, right? Kind of like ripples in a pond. But quantum light is totally different. It treats light as individual particles, called photons, and their behavior is all about probability. The randomness, the noise, isn't a bug. It's actually a feature of nature, and it's one we can now control.
The first tool in our quantum toolbox is something called squeezed light. So imagine the uncertainty of a photon is like a round balloon. With squeezed light, we literally squeeze that balloon, making it really skinny in one direction. What this does is it crushes the noise or the uncertainty in one specific property, like say the exact timing of a photon's arrival. This lets us make measurements with a precision that was, until now, completely impossible. And now for the spooky part, entanglement. This is where two photons become fundamentally linked, sharing a single identity. Whatever you do to one, whatever, instantly affects the other one, no matter how far apart they are. Could be meters, could be light years. Today, entanglement isn't just a weird curiosity. It's a resource, kind of like bandwidth, that we can actually spend to power these new technologies.
So, what's the first killer app for these new rules of physics? Well, it's building computers that don't calculate with electrons, but with photons. This is the global race to build photonic quantum computers.
So why use light? Well, there are two huge advantages. First, a lot of these systems can operate at room temperature. That gets rid of the gigantic, ultra-cold refrigerators that other quantum computers desperately need. And second, they are networking native. Since the information is already in photons, you can just plug them into each other with standard fiber optic cables, letting them scale up just like a modern data center.
And the progress here is just staggering. In 2025, Toronto's Xanadu proved you could build a truly scalable machine just by networking chips together. At the same time, PsiQuantum basically skipped the lab phase and moved straight to mass manufacturing with semiconductor giants. They're already breaking ground on a facility to build a 1 million qubit computer. The training wheels are officially off.
But quantum light is about so much more than just computing. It's also giving us what is basically a superpower, the ability to see things that were once completely and totally hidden from us. And this, of course, has massive geopolitical implications. In late 2025, reports started emerging from China about a new kind of radar that uses entangled photons, and the claim that it can detect stealth aircraft like the F-22. Now, Western analysts are pretty skeptical that they've solved the core problem of interference from the atmosphere, but the consensus is that new hybrid quantum systems are definitely emerging that could, at the very least, tip off traditional radar, making stealth technology far, far less certain.
But for every military application, there's a life-saving one. You see, traditional microscopes are limited because the intense light you need to get a clear image often damages or even kills the living cells you're trying to study. Quantum microscopes, though, use squeezed light to get a 35% clearer image without cranking up the intensity. For the very first time, we can literally watch the delicate machinery of life unfold in real time inside a living cell. It's incredible.
And this is not some lab curiosity. As you can see here, the market for medical quantum sensing is on a serious growth path. It's projected to nearly double from $344 million in 2025 to over $661 million by 2034. This is real technology, solving real-world problems right now.
But there's a dark side to all this power. The same quantum computers that promise to solve humanity's biggest challenges also pose an existential threat to our entire digital world.
So, this is the crucial strategy you need to understand. It's called harvest now, decrypt later. Right now, adversaries are recording and storing huge amounts of encrypted data. Our financial records, government secrets, you name it. They can't read it today, but they are stockpiling it, just waiting for the day their quantum computer is powerful enough to crack all those codes wide open. But it actually gets worse. Security experts are now even more worried about a different threat. Harvest now, forge later. The danger here isn't just someone passively reading your old secrets, it's about them actively impersonating you. An attacker could forge the digital signature for a critical software update and push malware to millions of computers, or forge a financial transaction. This is an active threat that could cause absolute chaos.
This forces us to ask a really chilling question. For any data that needs to stay secret for more than a few years, think about your genetic data, a company's trade secrets, a nation's intelligence. You have to assume that if it was sent over the internet, it has already been harvested and is just sitting on a hard drive somewhere waiting for that quantum key.
So, we're left at this fascinating and frankly perilous moment. This revolution in light is going to give us the power to see inside living cells, to detect the faintest signals from across the universe. But it also threatens to shatter the very foundation of our digital security. The quantum age is no longer a distant dream. It's a reality. The real question is, are we ready for what it's about to show us?